Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Sailing Indiana.
We are Lauren and Chris, and in case you haven't been watching for the last year, we live on a sailboat.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Which we bought a year ago. And we have been fumbling our way through boat life, trying to learn the ropes.
Ever since.
And try to navigate life on board.
If you've not been watching, you should have been. And
what have you been doing? Like, just stop this now, go back to the beginning, and then come back here. Because there's just no point.
It would save us a job, because we're not going to explain any of it.
No.
Welcome to Sailing Indiana. We are Lauren and Chris.
Hey yo, we're doing an episode about sailing and what we've been up to over the last year. And it's Christmas time. It's time for the rhyme.
Oh.
About Christmas. And
time. But like the herb.
I was going to try and rhyme something with Christmas.
Oh.
Oh, it's a good job you saved it. Because I was doing a terrible job.
Please like and subscribe and welcome aboard.
So, why are we doing this video?
Well, we thought it's been a little while since we've spoken to you guys through the lens. That was a bit creepy.
Which we still find very weird.
Yeah. It's the end of the year and it feels right to do a bit of a summary of what we've been going through and also what we plan to do in the future. Mystery. The mystery will be
we
revealed.
Get the engine fixed.
Listen, they're halfway through the engine rebuild now. We've only just taken it apart in the last episode.
One guy's gone back to the beginning. But yes, so we wanted to sum it all up in one episode and give you a little bit of an insight into what we will be doing next year and beyond.
If we get the engine fixed. Which we still don't know if the engine's fixed or not, because...
No, it's only we don't know.
Yeah.
It's still on the nav desk.
We've not... Yeah, some of it's still on the nav desk and we've not been able to start it yet, but we've not tried, so...
Yeah, fine.
It'll be fun. We'll see.
Okay.
So what would you be interested in hearing us say for the next 15 minutes? A quick summary. All right, what have we done? A year ago today, what were we doing?
A year ago today, we were going back and forth to Norfolk.
Yes, that's true.
We were going back and forth to Norfolk to check on the boat. It was freezing. I think we drove up a few times in complete snow, going about 40-50 miles an hour on the motorway for about 3.5 hours. Nearly fell off the deck because of how much ice there was. We had no heating. We didn't know what we were doing.
No. Little recap, the boat was in Norfolk when we bought it and we weren't living on board originally. So we were going back and forth to the boat. We
then thought it would be a good idea, as you know, there's not much sailing that could happen around Norfolk. It'd be a bit of a pain to get it into the ocean. We had a little look around, didn't we, different marinas, and we decided on Brighton.
We found a little company that would transport our boat down to Brighton and we paid them some money. And
they were called the...
I don't know what they were called.
I think they were literally called like boat transport.
I think they're called boat transport. Jeff, was it Jeff?
Maybe Jeff. We'll put them in the description underneath because they were very helpful.
Very helpful. So we got the boat down here and then the fun began. So we had the mast dropped so that we could get it onto the lorry and we thought, well, we'll just get somebody to come in and put the mast back up and get dropped in the water, ready to start our adventures. Wrong.
So wrong.
We spent a few months on the hard and found out that our rigging was completely inadequate and had to get full new standing and running rigging and various other bits and pieces, cars, tracks, runners and yeah.
You name it, we needed it.
Yeah, anything topside that makes the boat work as a sailboat we didn't have. So yeah, after spending all of our money and some of the banks, we managed to get the mast back up and the boat in a position where we could go sailing for the first time.
Which was amazing.
Which was amazing, and that was in June?
Yes, it was in June.
Yeah, so we spent February, March out of the water, and then April, May
Yeah.
Still doing bits and pieces, getting it ready. Buy a boat, they said. Go sailing, they said.
It'll be easy, they said.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone actually
no one
said that, to be fair.
No. This was all in our minds. But...
But yeah, we went out for our first sail with the lovely Jeff and our friend Matt. But it was a beautiful day, really nice weather, and then we had a little anchor off the beach.
Yeah.
Swam, lost a GoPro.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So after that, we decided to test our wits, and we went sailing on our own for the first time in a boat. It was slightly choppier, slightly windier conditions. First time on our own in charge of a boat.
Yeah.
So that was quite groundbreaking.
And we even saw another boat get blown onto the marina wall on our way back in. So that was pretty terrifying, and yeah.
Taught us that, you can't take it for granted out there. It's a dangerous beast, the ocean. And,
it was a good reality check, I think, for us. Yeah, that was our sort of first experience on our own. On our own.
And then what did we do? We tried to go to Eastbourne.
Yes, the infamous Eastbourne trip, if anyone hasn't seen that yet. Stop and go back again.
Well, don't, because we
don't, nothing really happens.
If you want to see what Eastbourne's like from the sea, don't watch that video. We don't make it. We don't get there, basically.
Our very good friends Zoe and Lucci and their lovely dog Bodhi came along with us for the day, and we were like, oh, we'll take you to Eastbourne. Yeah, didn't work. Sorry guys, we'll take you next time. But yeah, it was a good experience of how things don't quite always go to plan, and you can plan ahead, but weather, tide, all these other factors come in, and it doesn't quite.
We decided to go on a day when the wind was coming from Eastbourne, and notoriously sailboats can't sail into the wind. We hadn't read that part of the training manual.
We haven't read any training manual.
Don't tell them that. This is a sailing channel. We know what we're doing here. You're in safe hands. So I think it was the weekend after our failed Eastbourne trip, we had planned to go to the Solent, and we still did.
Yeah, we thought, sod it, we were going to go anyway.
Yeah, it didn't deter us.
We did a lot more planning on this next trip, don't worry. Where did we go? You tell them.
Well, we almost didn't go anywhere, because after all that great planning that we did, we almost couldn't get out of the marina, as Brighton Marina is notoriously shallow at low water, and we left it almost a little bit too late to leave, and we were touching the bottom, trying to get out, scraping the bottom, trying to get out of our berth. But we got out, and we had the open water in front of us for the first time, doing a long passage of 9 hours, I think it was.
Yeah, it was beautiful. That was the best day ever.
Yeah, nice amount of wind, the sun was out, and we couldn't have asked for anything more than that. It was perfect, wasn't it? It was, I think, the first time we really thought, hang on, this is what having a sailboat is all about. For this year, we kind of set ourselves the goal, after the setbacks started coming in, we sort of set ourselves a goal of going, well, if we can get somewhere this year, and if we can experience sailing a longer journey, even if it was to the Solent, to the Isle of Wight, then we will be able to comfortably see out the year, knowing we've achieved something. Yeah, we sailed from Brighton to Gosport, and then Gosport to Bewley, up the Bewley River, which absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful, and we met a few little friends along the way, didn't we? Lovely Nigel from Bewley, and Pete from Gosport.
And Pete at Gosport. So yeah, Nigel showed us around his boat, a beautiful Halberg Rassie. Yeah, again, it's just great having this community and speaking to people, meeting new people, and actually, yeah, when you're out sailing, going to different ports, different marinas, you're actually meeting these people that you've been speaking to online only, and it's
amazing.
Yeah, it started putting that whole picture together for us of being kind of active online, active socially, but never having really sailed. We maybe felt like we were a little bit not intruders, what's the word?
Outsiders.
No.
Underdogs.
No. All those things are true as well.
I'm just saying words.
No, like
imposters.
Yeah, imposter
syndrome.
Had a little bit of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Because obviously, it's interesting seeing the sailing journey that isn't just sailing. It's obviously about getting a boat ready and live aboard and that sort of side of it. But yeah, we did feel a little bit like imposters because we hadn't actually been anywhere sailing.
So it has been great being on YouTube and Instagram, and the value in it for us has always been to meet more people and kind of be part of that community. And we thank everyone for who's been so supportive and so lovely so far.
So then we sailed.
Ta-da!
Then we sailed from
the Seven Seas.
The Seven Seas. We just left, and now we're in the Caribbean right now.
We're in Bali.
One day.
So we went from Brighton to Gosport, from Gosport to Bewley, from Bewley to Lymington. From Lymington we went to Cowes, which was beautiful.
Yep.
And then from Cowes we then thought it would be better for our trip back to Brighton to go from Chichester. So we kind of snuck across to Chichester for the day, anchored off.
First night on anchor. Well, we were wide awake the whole night, so we can't really
honestly
officially
it was beautiful. It was on East Head, in Chichester. Super calm, like hardly any wind. Anchored off, we were good, we had dinner, we sort of relaxed. So basically anytime we moved, like even probably like half an inch, the alarm was going off. So every hour on the hour pretty much we were up, and obviously we didn't know what we were doing, so we were like both looking out the windows, so scared, like, and there were way more boats around us when we were like
every time we woke up there's different boats and things.
So we were like, is that the same
positions.
boat? It was just so basically we didn't sleep. We then got up at 5 o'clock.
We had to get up at 5:30 to leave anyway to catch the tides.
So we hoisted the anchor. Did we hoist the anchor?
Well, we tried to hoist the anchor.
Is that the correct term?
That's
the sails.
Oh, true.
We lifted anchor.
Yeah. Well, I manually lifted the anchor because the windlass broke, or it didn't break. I just didn't realise that chain could pile up underneath a windlass and stop it from working. Another schoolboy error. So once it did that, I was like, oh, that stopped working then. And the hook's halfway up, so then had to handball it on the rest of the way at 5:30 in the morning after no sleep.
Yes, so we were happy bunnies.
It was a great start. If you'll see my face in that video and I'm just not there, I'm just like...
You're just like a zombie.
Just like,
And then we thought it'll be, you know, an easier sail back to Brighton. Couple touch points. We thought might take a little bit longer, but we were expecting what, like 8? We thought 9 hours.
8, 9, yeah.
Yeah. How long did it take us?
14
hours.
-ish. It was sun up to sundown. A brilliant trip that unfortunately we didn't film any of because we were scared for our lives at the time. We watched the episode, but we were at the back of the wind farm, and if we took the angle to get the wind, we would have been right out into the English Channel. Tacking wasn't getting us anywhere because we were getting pushed back into the same position every time. So it just took about 5 hours at the back of the wind farm that we didn't account for. But it didn't stop us.
No, it didn't.
But what did stop us was the engine. Yeah, so we got back, and as you've recently seen in the videos, we found like 6 litres of water in the engine bilge, and we could see that the prop shaft was dripping a little bit more than it should, the packing gland, and we also could see that one of the engine mounts had kind of shifted, and a couple had shifted, and we thought, well, that's not great.
No.
So we got someone out to have a look at it because it's not really our area of expertise. And there was some other bits as well. We got a new throttle and a new engine panel.
Yeah.
Additionally, but all of that came to like 1,500 quid, and we were just like, great, that's not money we had. And then on top of that, when we went to start the engine, it was a struggle to start, and it always has been.
Yeah, but we thought that was normal. We were like, that's fine, it goes.
Yeah,
right?
and it goes, and once it's running, there's no issues. Yeah, he was like, yeah, that sounds like valves to me, and that's not ideal. So he said, don't start it again, and you're going to have to like take it apart and look at the cylinder head and look at the valves and all of that stuff. Yeah, so after our 1,500 quid bill, I was like, well, how much is it going to be to get someone to take an engine apart? So that's when we decided to look at it ourselves. So the last video you saw us taking it apart. There'll be another video after this. This is like an interlude video.
Just a brief interlude.
Just a brief interlude, don't mind us. So you'll see us putting it back together again in stages. We've got to the point where now it just needs a couple of fuel filters changed, re-topping up with the fluids, and then it's going to have its first attempt at starting again. So we're still without an engine at the moment. That's where we are. We're pretty much, we're almost at present day. So that's the past.
Well, we're at present day.
We're definitely at present day right now.
I need to blow my nose, I'm really sorry.
Oh no. So yeah, we're almost at present day. And what you're seeing now was only filmed like a week ago. So it's going to be on the 2nd of January when you watch this. You'll be watching it on the 2nd of January. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
From the future. Or from the past.
From the past.
From the past. Anyway, so that's given you a bit of a summary of the last year, where we've been and what we've been through. So let's talk about the future.
Yes.
Plans.
2022. Plans are engine needs to get fixed, which will get sorted.
Engine.
Yes. Sales are good-ish.
Sales will last.
Sales will last.
Yes.
Rigging is definitely good.
Tip top, another 10 years on
Rigging
that.
is perfect. Inside the boat, we would still like to do some of the kind of like aesthetic things and just make...
Not yet, we don't.
I'm just talking. I would like to make her look a little bit more homely and like reupholster things. Chris doesn't care.
It's not going to help the boat go any quicker.
It will.
Or for any longer.
We'll be happier.
You will be happier.
I will be happier.
That is the main thing.
Exactly.
Alright, so the real stuff, what we're talking about is big jobs for 2022. We're after an autopilot, and we're already in discussion with Raymarine to help us with that. Big job number 2 is going to be solar panels, and probably a nice big solar arch for the stern of the boat as well. Yeah, and then safety. Yeah, we need a life raft. We need an EPIR. We literally only have a first aid kit.
PLBs.
We got a little tiny first aid with some plasters in it at the moment.
So we definitely need all of this stuff.
And that's why it's going to take us a year before we probably leave for warmer climates. 2022 is the year of maintenance and getting the boat ready for off water.
Getting the boat ready to go further afield.
Yeah, that's it.
And also a year of experience. We've got a couple little trips we've planned around the UK.
Yeah.
Potentially go to France.
If they'll have us.
If they'll have us.
Bonjour.
Yeah, at the moment. But yeah, there's lots of exciting things. There's lots of exciting passages that we have planned.
Yeah.
We're both working remotely now, which is great. So yeah, we can kind of like potter around the UK for a year.
That'll be it. Yeah, we want to be somewhere close enough to get work done, and obviously we've got a few quotes coming in for things, and so we probably have Brighton as a base, but actually it doesn't stop us going for a month or 2 down the south coast of the UK, maybe finding Cornwall, maybe finding the Scilly Isles. Oh, no, let's not say anything too soon. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that would be lovely if we could do something like that, an extended trip where we're kind of working at, Monday to Friday, at the weekends, exploring, sailing place to place. I mean, that's the idea, that's the dream, isn't it? It's realistic, and it's our first little toe dip into the world of
boat life.
Boat life.
Yeah.
Boat life.
Okay.
So that's the future as in 2022, but obviously the rest of it's just speculation. It's just wild speculation otherwise. But 2023, we could, if all goes well, start heading south.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. And by south, we're either going to spend a year in European waters, obviously the Atlantic coast, Portugal, or France, Portugal, Spain, Gibraltar, possibly around the Balearics, but I wouldn't assume any further into the Med than that because of the Schengen issues at the moment.
Yeah.
So being from the UK and having Brexit, it means that now we can only spend 3 months in Europe, and then we have to spend 3 months out of Europe to reset. So it's not ideal for sailing anymore around those parts.
No.
Unless we get, the idea would be to get a visa for a year, potentially in Spain or somewhere that would let us work from the boat, potter around and see the sights. My ideal would be heading off in sort of April, May 2023, maybe sailing around until November, and then heading down to Cape Verde and heading west across the Atlantic in November, December 2023.
That's the plan.
We'll see. Stay tuned.
Excited. We'll do it.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, anything can happen, anything can change, but that's at the moment the idea.
So that is a kind of quick roundup of what we've done for 2021, what we want to do for 2022, and what could potentially be happening after that.
In the future.
In the future.
Yeah, well, we hope you've had an amazing Christmas and do have an amazing new year.
A huge thank you to everybody for watching our journey so far, even when we've not been sailing, and you've still been super supportive and given us loads of advice and information.
On a serious note, it is actually overwhelming the amount of, you know, comments and interactions we have with everybody that watches these videos. So it's just, yeah, it's just incredible, and yeah, it keeps us going. That's probably it, isn't it?
I think that's it.
All right, we'll leave you to get back to whatever you're doing.
Thanks for watching.
And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode when we are messing around with the engine again.
See you later.